Good evening, and welcome to this forum featuring the candidates running for the Escanaba Board of Education that are on the ballot for the November 3rd election. My name is Shannon Taylor, and I will serve as moderator for tonight's forum. Tonight's forum is sponsored by the Delta County League of Women Voters and the American Association of University Women. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization established to encourage citizen participation in government. It never supports or opposes any political party or candidate. We offer you this opportunity to become acquainted with the candidates and their views in order to promote an informed vote. The format for this evening will be as follows. Each candidate will have 1 minute for an opening statement, 1 minute for each question, and 1 minute for a closing statement. The candidates will be answering written questions submitted by the community. We will use as many questions as the available time allows, which will be around 50 to 60 minutes. Each candidate will have the opportunity to respond to each of the questions asked. As this is a forum, not a debate, the candidates are asked to respond only to the questions asked by the moderator. Please be respectful of the other candidates. You are, however, free to address any appropriate issue during your opening and closing remarks. A timer will be used, and when time is up, a beep will sound and the timer will hold up a red signal. When the time expires, the speaker must end their response. I will then move the question on to the next candidate. The moderator and host are present to ensure that the forum rules are followed. This forum will be recorded and made available for viewing on our local website at www.lwvdeltacounty.org. We now welcome the candidates for the Escanaba Board of Education. David Deno, Sage Dubord, Todd Milkowitz, and James Zagorski. These 4 candidates are vying for 2 seats. We will begin with opening statements starting with candidate Deno. Candidate Deno, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to let everybody know that I am on duty, so unfortunately, if I have to cut away, I'll try to resume later on when I have a chance. Anyways, my name is Dave Deno. I was from the local area. I've been in Escanaba School District my whole life. I graduated in 2001. I also hold a couple of degrees from the local community college, Bay College. I also have a bachelor's degree in emergency and disaster management. I was in the United States Air Force 8 years. I do have a lot of experience in financial issues, also contract negotiations. I do have several positions I used to hold in both contract dealings, unions, also, and on both sides. What I'm mostly, I want to, sorry guys.
Thank you, candidate Deno. Candidate Dubord, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Hi everyone, I'm Sage Dubord, born and raised in Escanaba, have 5 children, ages ranging from 3 all the way up to 18, a local business owner, a graduate of Escanaba High School, went on to Bay to receive a degree in business administration, went on to Ferris to receive my degree in respiratory therapy. I'm really just excited to hopefully be able to gain a seat on the board and make some real positive changes for our district and to create the best district in the area. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, candidate Dubord. Candidate Milkowitz.
Hello, my name is Todd Milkowitz. I'm currently serving on the school board. I'm a father of 3, grandfather of 10, very active community in my church. I enjoy sports and everything else that goes on with that. And I very, very into the school. I volunteer all the time, and I enjoy the area as much as as anyone else. I'm really looking forward to serving again on the school board and looking for your vote. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
Hello. My name is Jamie Sigorski. I'm a lifelong resident in the city of Escanaba. I graduated from Escanaba High School. My parents graduated from Escanaba High School. I have 3 children, 2 currently attending Escanaba High School and 1 who is a recent graduate of Escanaba High School. I myself am a graduate of Fair State University, upon completion of which I served the city of Escanaba as a police officer and a 911 coordinator for Delta County. I'm retired now, so for a long time. I look forward to gaining a seat on the school board to make not drastic change, but certainly positive change. We're looking for a new vision. We're looking for people with a different outlook. I'm excited for this opportunity, and I look forward to participating more in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes opening statements. We will now proceed with the question segment. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to each question. We will begin with candidate Dubord. Candidate Dubord, are the current COVID-19 protocols for face-to-face instruction adequate to protect our students and the community?
I'm going to have to agree with the fact that I think that they're adequate. I feel like the health department has given some really good recommendations. I feel like the fact that we're social distancing, we're wearing masks, we're allowing our children to get outside of the classroom as much as possible, to have mask breaks. I think that's all really good. I don't know that I necessarily agree with the quarantine processes that are in place currently. And then researching it a little bit and emailing back and forth with school administrators as well as the health department, it doesn't really appear like anybody is able to provide what fact-based data that they're drawing these conclusions to make decisions upon. So that's a concern of mine. And also it would be great to know really who's making these decisions, instead of just saying, well, it's the recommendations of the health department.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
Well, currently we don't have face-to-face, but we have live streaming. There's, I think, 4 different ways you can attend school. So it's possible to have whatever works for you and your family. If you need it, it's recorded. So it's actually doing quite well. Unfortunately, we've had some COVID cases within the school, which has caused us to close the school for a short time, coming back now on Friday. And the staff is trying to do the best they can. It's a difficult situation. It's constantly evolving and changing. We're working hard to accommodate everyone. It's a very tough situation, and every day is a new day. It's constantly evolving. It makes it very difficult to operate a school, but we're trying as hard as we can to keep the school open and keep it an educational atmosphere for the kids and positive. But that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
I'm not sure we were really ready at the beginning of the school year, so that didn't make me happy. Ingenuity really wasn't up and running with all the bugs worked out. All of our staff wasn't trained on how to facilitate that platform of education. So I think we weren't really ready for the families that chose to do online learning at that point. I wasn't happy that all the classrooms, we knew this was coming, and I wasn't really happy that all the classrooms weren't set up with Zoom and all the teachers are live streaming when the school year started. I thought we could have been more prepared. I know it's difficult to be prepared, but when you're planning for emergencies, you kind of want to prepare for everything, and a pandemic is an emergency. So I felt like we could have done a little better on that end, better training for our staff and better preparation for them. The health department, yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. They're facilitating guidelines for our district, and we're following them. And I think as far as on a face-to-face role, the teachers, the staff, the instructors are doing everything they possibly can in order to make everything work for the students and the families that are doing the online learning at this point. I wish it was easier, but it's just not. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno?
Well, for me, I think it was kind of half-hearted. The health department, they're doing a good job on, bringing out the guidelines, allowing the schools to kind of dictate what they can. However, with the quarantining of the students that Escanaba is doing, I don't think they're doing it the right way. They're quarantining entire classes, and they're making them all go into distance learning, which a lot of students, they need the brick and mortar classroom instructions. They don't do well at home, and I know some of the teachers, they're not trained, they're not given the proper tools in order to teach from home. They're school teaching when they went to school. They're brick and mortar teaching. They're not through Zoom. So I think they need to do a better job, and they need to prepare a lot better than they did at the beginning of the school year.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with candidate Milkowitz. Candidate Milkowitz.
Currently, my computer is locked up and I did not hear the question.
Our moderator is locked up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Shannon, you froze up. You need to ask your question again.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz,
Yes.
due to the special circumstances under COVID-19, what procedures should be in place to ensure our students are getting a quality education?
Well, we're very fortunate to have the staff that we have, and we're a top grade school. We're one of the top 500 schools in the country. We have an excellent staff that is well trained. I totally disagree with anyone that says our staff is not the best that there is. It's tough. The live streaming, we've got Skype, we've got more things, opportunities for these kids to learn, and we're trying as hard as we can. We have such a tremendous staff. The teachers and everyone, the support groups, we've got feeding programs for the kids. They can come pick up meals for the week. I just think Escanaba is a great place to be, especially right now, because we've got so much good going on. And we're going right back to class soon with face-to-face. Unfortunately, we had to take close the school because we had cross-contamination across the virus spread within the school, so we had to close. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski. Oh, Candidate Zagorski, you're on mute.
Technology. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that every one of the candidates here would agree that the staff that we have is top notch. They're as good as good gets, and we would definitely urge or we welcome the opportunity to send our kids to our district and learn from the instruction staff that we have. It's our issue, and my issue, I guess, is that they're in the front end, they weren't really provided the proper training in order to facilitate the instruction that they were required to do in different circumstances. The training is paramount for our staff. Providing them the tools to actually deliver that service to our kids, our students, means more than anything right now. So I think the biggest thing that we can do is prepare our staff, not our support staff, our teaching staff, our administrative staff, and give them the proper tools in order to facilitate the different types of learning that we're going to be required to use throughout the entire school year.
Thank you. Candidate Deno.
I think we need to set up our teachers for success. They do a bang-up job right now. However, I think they should get a lot more support from administration than what they already have been doing. Two, we have to address that some students, if they're quarantined, they don't have internet at home. So we need to have contingency plans in place. If we can't get them a Chromebook or any other equipment that we can give them from the school, or we need to find some sort of hotspots or some central ground where they can safely a place where they can connect to internet and have good quality internet to attend these Zoom classes.
Thank you. Candidate Duboard?
Would you be able to repeat the question one more time?
Most certainly. Due to the special circumstances under COVID-19, what procedures should be in place to ensure our students are getting a quality education?
Okay, thank you. You know, I'm going to agree with the other members here that our school teachers are doing a phenomenal job. In the past 2 weeks, I've had a high schooler home because of a closed campus. Brought home a Chromebook, forgot the charger, was able to call the school, was able to get it no problem. I did even go ahead and try the meal program. Excellent, very welcoming, very fast, very cleanly, perfect. I also had a kindergartner that was home on quarantine because a child in her class tested positive. By the time I picked her up from the phone call that came, half an hour later I was there, had her assignments for the rest of the week, and then picked up her folder for that following week. I think the amount of time that it takes the teachers to plan all these different scenarios, I think that they've just done an excellent job. I have no complaints.
Thank you. Candidate Sigorski, what would you do to ensure high quality special education?
I keep doing it. I don't have a mouse, that's why. High quality special education, that comes with a qualified professional delivering that platform of education. Special ed is and I assume that you are speaking of special ed. That is it's an area that is widely used in our schools. It's an area that takes a special person to deliver that qualified opportunity. They have the patience and the training that they have to have. It's unbelievable. And I've heard from many people outside of our district, that many people from our neighboring districts, that Escanaba has the best special education department in the area. And I know that we come across a lot of students because of the opportunity that we provide with our special ed department. So I don't know that we can really make that better. We are the best of the best at this point with that. And it's kudos to our staff and the people that are delivering that opportunity to our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno?
Sorry about that. I had a little loose, the connection was a little low. I didn't hear that question.
What would you do to ensure high quality special education?
Well, one, I do agree with Jamie. We do have one of the best special education programs in the UP. If we want to make it even better, we need to contact our local state representatives or federal representatives, congressmen, to get more state and federal assistance and bring in more teachers to help educate these students. I mean, even more specialized, focused teachers in order to get that target number, in order to have a good program be even better than what we have now. Best thing to do is just we need to get the state and federal to step up and help us out more. Money, teachers, aides. We need to focus on that.
Thank you. Candidate Duboard?
So I'm going to have to agree with Jamie on this, that I think our special education program is definitely top notch. I do feel that increased funding and searching for increased funding would always be beneficial. You know, I think making sure that the special ed teachers are working in collaboration with all of the other teachers, and we're really listening to their concerns, seeing if there's anything that we can do to really promote and increase the special ed services, making sure that we are their ally, and that would pretty much be it.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
I believe we should continue what we have been doing and do more. You know, the special education field is a very, very tough field, and it takes a special kind of teacher, which we have. We continue to hire nothing but the most qualified and dedicated employees and teachers. The aid program helps a lot to assist the teachers in managing and assisting these children. You know, we need to provide the tools and the opportunities for these children to succeed, much the way that we have been. I just think Escanaba is really got it going on. We do a really good job here in Escanaba, and I'm very, very proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with Candidate Deno. Candidate Deno, what could we do better for our at-risk students?
I've been hearing for the past few years, several years, that we have a bullying problem. I think one of the things that we need to do is try to reduce that. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to be able to eliminate that because I think the at-risk students, they kind of get either wrapped up in that or they're targets of bullying. And for me, I think that's one of the main issues why we keep losing students. And I always hear people, we went to the other smaller schools because there's too much bullying in Escanaba. And I think at risk and bullying, I think they go hand in hand. I think we need to concentrate on eliminating it. I know, like I said, we're not going to be able to eliminate it altogether, but I think if we can reduce it and make a better environment for these students to stick together and not harass each other, I think it'd be a better school environment for everybody.
Thank you. Candidate Duboard?
Can you repeat the question, Shannon?
Yeah, no problem. What could we do better for our at-risk students?
So I think, you know, we can always do better in that department. I think at the high school level, the Mo Buddy program that they have created has been beneficial in so many different ways. I think acknowledging children that go above and beyond to really help out their peers, you know, possibly could be a program that we could initiate. You know, I think really teaching compassion and empathy in every class would definitely go a long way. But I really feel like the Mo Buddy program that the high school has created, personally, I've heard excellent stories about it, and I would continue with that at a lower level.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
Well, this is another one that we excel at. We're the only campus that has a social worker in every one of our campuses, every one of our buildings, working with students. We also hired a behavioral interventionist to help oversee these children and to catch them when they have a bad day. Those are things that make this a successful program that we have. You know, the Mo Buddies is another tool that we have, which is excellent. We continue to provide such a quality education here in Escanaba, more than any other school can do possibly. You know, we've restructured, we've got proper funding. We're at a positive 10% of our funding. So we're doing well. We're saving money. We're also providing more services than any other school district. Once again, we're top notch. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
Got it this time. At-risk kids, I've made a career out of dealing with at-risk kids, at-risk students, not just as a police officer, but as a coach. I coached wrestling for 25 years in our district, and you get a lot of at-risk kids in the wrestling program in our district. We get a lot of great kids too. But where I'm going with this is coaches, teachers, people that are involved with extracurriculars. Those are the people that their activity, their caring is paramount to helping to save or direct some of these at-risk children. We need those people more than anything. We need our teachers to be coaches. We need our teachers to be in charge of extracurricular activities. They're what steers the ship. They're what makes it happen. And without them, we really don't have a whole lot. Our fine arts department, the musical, getting the kids involved, the at-risk kids, peer mentoring, it just means everything. So having the ability to do that, being mentored by your peers, being mentored by other students, that's what saves kids.
Thank you. Moving on to our next question, we'll begin with candidate Duboard. Candidate Duboard, do you support students participating in athletic events during the COVID-19 pandemic? And what level of fan attendance would you suggest?
I think it is very important that our children are able to participate in athletics. I think athletics plays a huge part in education. I think it plays a huge part in schooling, and I feel it can be done safely. Whether we reduce the capacity of our football stadium or our gyms, we don't hold concessions. I think there's a lot of things that we can do to safely allow our kids to participate in these sports. I think for a lot of these kids, specifically seniors, some of these kids are relying on these sports to determine where they go and if they get college paid for. And I think it's extremely important, just as much as the education side of school. And I do think that it can be done in a safe way.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
Well, I believe athletics can go on safely if conducted properly. We always have to follow the guidelines of what the health department decrees. Unfortunately, that's they control more than what we know. But athletics is such an important issue. It's just as important for education as possible. I mean, these kids, most of them live and breathe. Even the kids that aren't participating in the athletics that would like to come watch athletics and support their friends, and it's so important. We can do it by obviously controlling crowd sizes and managing that as best as possible. Escanaba has a strong history of athletics. So we'd like to continue that as much as possible. And I think we can do it safely. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
I know you said athletics, Shannon, but it goes far beyond athletics. When you talk about extracurriculars, and I consider athletics an extracurricular, we're talking about fine arts, we're talking about clubs, we're talking about activities. These are the opportunities that Escanaba School District offers to these kids, and this is a reason why many of these kids go to school in general. They go to school for these extracurriculars. We want to believe that education is number one for the students, but sometimes education is that vehicle that gets them into the athletic or the fine arts program. We're coming into a season right now where, and I'm wondering, where's our musical going? What's going to happen with our musical right now? Are we going to have that this year? We're looking at football games. What's going to happen with the football games? We're going to have a football game. Our tennis players just missed the UP finals, our conference tournaments. So are they important? Absolutely. Can we do it in a safe way? I believe 100% that we can do it in a safe way. To take it away from them, I don't think is good for their psyche and what they're doing, and they need these opportunities in order to enhance their education. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno?
For me, I'm in a kind of a unique position where I've seen COVID up front, very close and personal. I've seen from the mild all the way up to the severe. So I think me and my coworkers, we have a very good grasp on this disease. For athletics, I think if we do it in a safe manner, we can't take it away from these students. There's always a safe way to do it. You just got to have a plan. And you got to have a thorough plan. And if there's something wrong with the plan, you got to have a backup plan for that. I was an athlete myself. I live for it, and I know that all these students in the high school, they all live for this, and you don't want to take this away from these kids. You know, especially juniors, seniors. That's part of their. As part of the way they learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with candidate Milkowitz. Candidate Milkowitz, what experience, knowledge, or skills do you have in either being a member of a labor union or in working with labor unions that would help you in your role as a school board member?
Well, I've been a member of a labor union for 39 years. So I've been active and involved in my union. I've been working with the school board and through our negotiations with unions. So I do have a unique perspective as a long-term employee and dealing with unions. I understand the union philosophy and how it all works. And I provide a unique perspective. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
I've been on just about every side of a union. I've got extensive experience. I've had the opportunity to be an assistant union steward for our union, our member at Public Safety. I was a union steward for many years at Public Safety, bargaining several contracts. And then as I worked my way through the Public Safety ladder, I wound up on the administrative side. So I was able to actually bargain contracts on the administrative side as well. So I've had an immense amount of opportunity with unions and working on both sides. One thing that I know that makes the union go and it keeps the employment staff as well as the administration working well together and keeps that relationship positive is good faith bargaining. And that's something that I don't think we've had a lot of over the last several years. And I think it's something that we need to bring back as board members, is to ensure that our staff, both union and administrative and the board, are all bargaining in good faith and bargaining at that, not dictating it. It's bargaining, and bargaining is what we need. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno?
Well, one of my jobs, I'm a dispatcher for Escanaba Public Safety, and I am a union member through that work. I have been involved in a couple different contract negotiations on the union side, but also when I was in the military, we also negotiated contracts on the management side. So I have both sides of the issue, and I do have experience on both sides. That being said, I think as long as everybody gets together and has a clear head and everybody is open about what they need and what they want, I think both sides can come to a good agreement on a good contract, a strong contract. That way we can support each other, the board and the staff of the school.
Thank you. Candidate Dubord?
I don't really have any experience as far as unions go. My husband belongs to a union. I myself have never belonged to a union. I'm self-employed, so there's no need for me to be in a union. I do feel that the most important thing is open and positive, truthful communication. I feel if we always are putting our children of the district's interests in the forefront, I feel like there's always room to wiggle on both sides. And I think in the end, if we're positive, if we have open communication, and if we can kind of step in each other's shoes, I really feel like decisions can be made that will benefit not only both sides, but most importantly, the children of the district.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with candidate Zagorski. Candidate Zagorski, what is your position on the use of mascots of Native Americans or Indigenous peoples by local schools?
It's one of those things where it just has to be done in good taste. I think speaking to many people, knowing people, talking to people, whether they be Native American, Indigenous, or whatever ethnic group they happen to come from, it's typically flattering as long as it's done correctly. You want to make it out to be positive, and it should be positive. I'm in full support of it. I'm in full support of not just of embracing where we are and what we do. It's to me, I love it. I think it's a great thing. I think to honor those people with our school district, what more can you do to say thank you for anything? It's a great deal in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno?
For me, I love these mascots. When they were all brought up, between Marquette, Gladstone, Escanaba, and numerous other schools, they weren't meant to have any sort of racial profiling or any obscenities or meant to upset anybody. It was kind of an honor to represent these various groups of people. I guess I can understand why some people may be upset, but they also kind of have to understand that it's not meant to do any harm. It's meant for pride, and I think especially Escanaba, they have a pride in the Eskimo, and it's part of the community, and I would hate to see the Eskimo go. Thank you very much on that one.
Thank you. Candidate Dubord?
So I think the use of a mascot is overwhelmingly positive. I look at it as when I'm picking out a characteristic of myself or one word that describes my child, it's typically a positive word. It's strong, it's courageous, it's successful, it's powerful, and all of those things typically encompass a mascot. We're certainly never going to choose a mascot because it's slow, because it's weak, because it is not powerful. I feel like a mascot is the most amazing symbol to be able to characterize your school and to really show people what your school is about and the qualities that your school has. And most of the time a mascot is chosen because it can be described in one of those words: powerful, strong, successful, courageous. So that's kind of where I stand on that.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
I've always been proud to be an Escanaba Eskimo. I think we've always kept it dignified, as long as it's done with respect and good taste. It's a positive thing. I just can't imagine Escanaba without its mascot. It just sets us apart and makes us a special place. Everybody loves when Mo comes to visit or Mo's at the football game, and it's always done in such a tasteful, positive thing. It's just good for kids, and it's good all the way around. It's good for our community, and it's part of our identity, and it's been part of our identity since my dad's days and beyond that. It's a great thing, and I can't see us not having an Eskimo for our mascot. Like I said, we just do such a great job of being positive and motivating kids, and it's a good thing. So I'm all for it.
Thank you. Our next question will begin with candidate Deno. Candidate Deno, what is your vision for the school district, and what actions would you take to implement your vision?
One, and I know the school district's not going to be like when I was there. Even when I was there, it wasn't perfect, but it was in a better financial situation than it is now. One, we got to quit hemorrhaging students. We keep losing students to other school districts. One, we got to get these students back. Start, I won't say actively recruiting, but make sure we offer the same level, if not higher level programs than the other school districts. That will bring them more money. That will bring more funding. Two, I want to bring in more trades. ISD does a good job on keeping the trades going. However, I think this, as a school district, I think we can keep the trades going and concentrate on that, and I think that would bring a lot of students back to the school district.
Thank you. Candidate Duboard?
So I think first and foremost, I would absolutely love to create a retention program for the Escanaba School District. I would love to be able to reach out to families who take their children out of our district to put them in surrounding districts, even though they still live in the Escanaba city limits. I would love to be able to pick their brains and to really find out the root of their decision and see if we can see a clear pattern. And if we see a clear pattern, really implement some changes and get back a lot of the students that we're losing. And as I'm aware of it right now, we don't have that. We don't reach out to any of our students that leave. And I think that's really a misfortune. So that is one of the things that I would absolutely love to spearhead and create if I'm elected to the board. Also, as Dave mentioned, trades is huge. I think we all know that there's a lack of trades in the United States. I think the trades programs that we provide right now through the ISD are phenomenal. I think that continuing and really promoting it would be amazing.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
Well, currently we have, we don't broadcast what we do. We should. We need to advertise and let people know really what the school district does. Currently, I mean, we have AP classes. We have a 5th-year program. You can actually go to Escanaba area schools and graduate as a senior with an associate's degree. I don't think many schools offer that. Also, we give more than $500,000 away in scholarships. So virtually, you could go to Bay College for free. We do a tremendous job, and we're one of the top ones in the state for scholarships. Academics are just a great thing that we have, and I think we just don't do a good enough job explaining that to people. I think, sometimes people leave for the wrong reasons. One of the big things that's the decline in our population is the fact we have an aging population. People aren't having 5 or 6 kids or 4 kids. Very seldom. Most are just having 2. So, the days when I was a kid, when everybody had 3 or 4 children, we don't see that much anymore, and that's sad. But that's just the way the world is today. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski?
My vision for the school district is to grow, and I want to see it grow. I said it at the last forum, and I'm going to say it again today. We need to get bigger. The bigger we get, the more money we have. And the more money we have, the more we can do, the more opportunity we can offer, the more extracurriculars we can offer, the better we can pay our staff, the better we can take care of our support staff. We need to grow. We need to become financially solvent. To become financially solvent, we need a larger student base. In order to create that student base, everybody said it. We have to sell our district. Right now, it's not being sold, and it's a tragedy that we're not selling our district. We're not selling our district as being the best district in Delta County, the UP, Northern Michigan, or state of Michigan for that matter. One of the best districts in the country, and we're not selling that as a board or as anything else. We're not doing that now, and we need to do that. We have neighbors that don't understand what opportunities we have to offer. They don't understand our programs. They don't understand the AP courses. They don't understand the dual enrollment. They don't understand much of that.
Thank you. And we'll go ahead and move on to our final question of the evening. And we'll start that with candidate Duboard. Candidate Duboard, please describe your experience or skills in working with large and complex budgets.
So I currently co-own and operate 4 local businesses. Each one of them is completely different. No 2 are the same. Each one has its challenges. All 4 of them have a budget. And I think that regardless of the size of the budget, you look at where your bottom line is, you look at the priorities that you have and what's most important. Just like if you're doing a home budget, you realize that certain things A, B, and C need to have the utmost attention. And then there's other things that maybe are not as important and so on down the line. So I think that regardless of the size of the budget, I'm very familiar with budgets, whether it be because of my large family size or one of the 4 businesses that I own and operate. I feel like I'm definitely able to delegate and to figure out what things are necessary in order to make something very successful.
Thank you. Candidate Milkowitz?
Is quite large, and there's a big learning curve to it. I've been dealing with it now for over 2 years, and it is complicated, and you really have to pay attention. There are a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of classes that you can take online, and the school provides that you can attend, which I have. And it's something you have to keep your hand in control of, because it can get out of hand real quick and really easy. So you really have to be careful, and you got to monitor it. And fortunately, we have great staff. Kevin Pasco's done an excellent job maintaining our budget. Right now, we're at a positive 10%, which makes us one of the best financially stable schools in Michigan. There are several that are not. Even with this crisis, it's been very difficult. But with Kevin and his staff, they've done an excellent job of controlling our budget and our expenditures. So we're doing quite well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Candidate Zagorski?
I'm fortunate to have had a extensive experience with large budgets. As the 911 coordinator for Delta County, I was responsible for a $1.4 million plus budget yearly. We had a team, and it takes a team to manage a budget. It takes a team to make decisions, and we worked well as a team. Our school district needs to do the same. We can say we're one of the better districts in the state right now, but we still have to take out a loan to start our school year. The goal is to not take out that loan to start the school year. The goal is to be financially solvent and be able to work on the funds that we have. We don't want to have to pay that $123,000, $124,000, $125,000 interest payment back to a lending institution to start off our school year. We want to take that money and be able to put it into our district and make it work for us. And that's one of the things that we're struggling with. We can't start off borrowing. It's like living off of credit cards, and we want to do that in the district.
Thank you. And Candidate Deno?
Fortunately, I had the privilege of, when I was in the Air Force, when we were overseas, I was part of the budget team for my squadron. And when I was over in Afghanistan for 6 months, I helped with the budget, and we dealt with $2 million, $5 million, $20 million plus dollar projects. And I was actually proud to be a part of the biggest temporary landing strip in the history of the United States Air Force, which was our unit was comprised of 17 different Air National Guard units, and bringing them all together and making a budget, and also contracting out with local nationals, which includes Afghanis and other Southwest Asian companies. I think that's invaluable experience that I can bring to the board. And those large budgets, we balanced out. We've actually had a surplus of money, and we're able to make other things happen. And I think I can make that happen.
Thank you. We have now come to the final minutes of the Escanaba Board of Education Candidate Forum, when each of our candidates will be given 1 minute to make a closing statement. We will begin closing statements with candidate Milkowitz. Candidate Milkowitz, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Well, Mike, first, I thank you for providing this forum and the opportunity to reach out to people and have people meet me that may not know who I am. And I'd just like to thank you very much. This is something that's kind of unique and something new. And I think the way this school is going to survive and strive is basically through these types of programs where we're communicating not just face-to-face, but virtually, and providing quality education and still being able to maintain a safe environment for our children. This is the new world is quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing it and being a part of it in the future. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Candidate Zagorski.
First off, thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this activity. This is fantastic. I mean, for us to be able to get our names out there and speak to the public and have them be able to view it at this time is absolutely amazing, because a lot of districts aren't able to do this. So thank you very much. Those that know me within the district, within Delta County, within the UP for that matter, they know that I am Escanaba. I bleed orange and black. I've always bled orange and black. Nobody supports and sells our district more than me. I'm passionate, I'm positive, and I just want to be able to pass that energy on to our district and allow the students and staff from within our district, from the ladies in the lunchroom to the school superintendent. I want to be there for everybody to help them, from the special ed students to the valedictorian. You know, we're all one group. It doesn't matter what category. We're a team. We're a team as students. We're a team as administrators, a team as union members, and a team as a community. So thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Deno.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody, and it's a privilege and an honor to run for the school board. And I know everybody here, they're all good people. They all want what is best for the school district. For me, I'm self-motivated. I give people straight up answers. You don't want to sugarcoat things, especially in this time. You got to be upfront with people. And I do have the experience, not only for budgets. I've been on various boards, budgets, like I said, unions. I've been in athletics. I've been in the school board I've been in the school district for 38 years. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to talking to other people, to talking with the people that are running for the school board. I'm hoping to help everybody out as best I can.
Thank you. Candidate Dubord.
Just like everybody else has said, you know, I really appreciate having this time to be able to be virtual and to have people put a face to a name for me. I think overall, I'm just very excited to get involved with a family of 5, my youngest being 3 years old. I'm invested in this district. I'm going to be here for at least the next 20 years. And I want to make sure that my time as a parent and as a citizen is as positive as it could be. You know, I'm a very vocal person, and there's a lot of timid people out there that have a lot of really, really good ideas. And I'm hoping that by me getting elected to the board, I can really gain the support of the community. We can get community involvement. We can really make people feel like this is their school district. Their opinions are wanted and valued and appreciated. And I think we can just make a lot of really, really good positive changes in our school district. And I'm just very, very excited about it.
Thank you. This concludes our candidate forum for the Escanaba Board of Education. The forum sponsors would like to thank the candidates and the audience for their participation. This forum has been recorded and will be available for viewing on our local website at www.lwvdeltacounty.org and our Facebook page within a day or so. We also want to thank the media for their help in promoting the forum. For further information on the upcoming election, go to our online voter guide at vote411.org and remember to get out and vote November 3rd. The polls are open at 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. Any eligible Michigan voter can vote by mail, also known as voting by absentee ballot. Voters must first apply for an absentee ballot by filling out an application. Until October 20th, 2020, you may apply using the online options, but after October 20th, the completed application must be sent or delivered. When you receive your ballot, follow the instructions carefully. A large number of absentee ballots were spoiled in the primary election because the voter failed to sign the envelope. If you have questions about your ballot, please call your local clerk. Voters should return their completed absentee ballot as soon as possible to their local clerk. The League urges you to hand deliver your completed ballot to your local clerk or in your clerk's drop box instead of using the U.S. mail. Check our Facebook page and website to find a listing of local drop boxes. Please note the drop box is only valid for the jurisdiction where the box is located. For example, you cannot drop a ballot meant for Bark River into the Escanaba drop box. Please remember to vote for the partisan races, the nonpartisan races, and the bottom of the ballot, the proposals. Your vote is important. Vote early if you can, but go out and vote on November 3rd. Thank you and have a good evening.